What's going on, everybody? It is Ian here with Miller Garage, and today I am going to be working on some holding tanks, and we're actually going to be doing some spin weld fittings on them, which is basically the method to how you create like drain holes and fittings for all of your plumbing going into your tanks. And there's a technique to it, and some special tools you have to have. But I wanted to show you guys the process. So I have the holding tanks in place in the frame, and we have most of the subfloor already on, but I've been working on this last section to get the holes for both the P-trap, the drain hole, and then also we're going to be putting a slightly different sending unit in this for the level. He's going to be using Victron monitoring, and so he wants everything to be basically in that one control panel. And with those, this was the sender that works with the Victron system. The sea level ones don't, because those are specific to the sea level monitoring. So we're going to be putting this one in, and it's basically going to need to go where it has some clearance, because usually the holding tanks are right on the floor, like right below it. And so we needed to add some clearance there. So where the P-trap hole is, we're opening it up a little bit more to where this can be in the tank over here and have clearance for the top of it. So for this setup, we're only doing gray tanks. He decided he didn't want to do a black tank. He's probably going to be using a composting toilet or something like that. And so for all of our spin weld fittings, we're going to be using the 1.5-inch threaded fittings. And I don't remember exactly where I got these from. I'll have a link for it below. And then to actually install them, you need a spin weld driver, and it basically, the fitting fits in there, and then the driver goes in a router, and then it spins and welds with heat. So it's basically, how the name sounds. So I got this one from icondirect.com. They have these. They also have a ton of stuff. That's where I've gotten skylights from, and they actually have holding tanks, which I just recently found out, and I'm kind of bummed because some of the ones they have are they're a little bit they have a little bit more variety in sizes, and some stuff that seems to be more Airstream specific, just in that they're not as deep, so they fit the Airstreams a little bit better, since you really only have that 5 inches there. So go check them out for any of that kind of stuff. These drivers are a bit pricey for something that you're gonna, if you're doing your own restoration, probably something you're only gonna use once. I may end up getting another one and doing some sort of like rental thing. So I'll probably put something about that below. Maybe like send it with the router and have that be a rental option for people to borrow for like a week. So look forward to that possibly being a thing. All right, so the first step, I already have the holes marked in my tank where I want to put them, and kind of where the hole is, so where I can line up the sending unit. And so the first thing I need to do is drill a hole in it with a hole saw for it. And you basically just want to pick a hole saw where the little lip will go in, but you leave as much of the space for the flange there. So I got this one, so that one should be pretty much perfect. All right, so I installed the spin wheel driver into the router, and I took the plunge part and the handles off of it. Obviously, you want to be able to have that in there and it go past the flange, because I've found that it won't really work with that, and you want to kind of have a little more control of it. So basically just put the piece in there, put it on top, and then you'll turn it on, and usually like 20 to 30 seconds, and it should be good in there. You obviously don't want to go too long, or you can put a hole through the tank itself. So here we go. Go, and then let it sit and dry because it obviously melted that. It's smoking a little bit, obviously. And that was a little bit less than, you know, I'd say probably 10-15 seconds. You should probably be good. So that is that. It's pretty straightforward. And you can do that to put, you know, custom fittings in any tank. And that's that. It's pretty easy. You just got to have the right tool. That's how a lot of the stuff is, I feel. It's not terribly difficult. It's just having the, you know, the right tool and the right know-how. All right, now I'm going to cut the hole for the sender, which is going to be right over here. And I basically just marked, like I said, where that larger hole for the P-trap is. And then I'm just going to keep that thing within it. Obviously, I need to make sure that the outside flange of it is within the, you know, the tank itself. So probably say right about there is good. Obviously, with holding tanks, it's not a huge deal if you get some of the plastic down in there. Whenever you're doing like a fresh tank, you want to avoid that as much as possible because that stuff, I've actually had this happen, the plastic filings can go up and get into your pump and cause it to stop functioning. I found that out the hard way. But, you know, you can obviously run water through it and rinse it out, but sometimes if you already have the tank mounted, it's hard to necessarily do that. But you just want to obviously try to be careful. Okay. Yep, and everything fits great. So that is basically how you make your own custom tanks with installing the fittings with the spin welding. I hope you guys enjoyed this. We got a lot more Airstream content coming your way, and we will see you next time.